All right. So here we go. Welcome, everybody. Old City Kids. And so a lot of you know us from our swim lesson program, or were participants or know us from our summer camp program last year. So we're going to talk about our summer camp program. That'll be the major focus of what we're going to talk about today. But we're also going to talk about all the other programming that we have for our Old City Kids. I feel like I've said program too many times in a row. So Old City Kids efforts. There we go. We have a new website, oldcitykidsdc.com. So feel free to go to that if you have any questions about what's going on. Our programs are all listed here. We'll talk about annual passes. We'll put recordings of the open houses here. And yeah, oldcitykidsdc.com. Okay, so what are we? Family programs for fun, challenge, and adventure. If you think about this, certainly is by no means an exhaustive list of some of the parenting challenges of raising kids in a family in DC, but work days and school days don't always align, and that creates a challenge and also an opportunity. And presumably, you want your kids involved in activities that align with your family values. So I'll say over and over again the values that we infuse into our programs: fun, challenge, and adventure. That's kind of what we're all about. And so we aim to provide year-round services that kind of help with whenever school is closed and summers and fun, engaging, productive activities in the afternoons and evenings. And so if we can do that and also maybe carve out a little bit of time for the parents to focus on their personal health and fitness goals, then we've achieved our mission. So the kids programs that we have, again, we're going to spend 90% of what we talk about tonight on the summer camp. So we'll definitely dive into all the summer camp details here. And then we'll quickly go over all the other stuff that we have going on. So when school is closed, but it's, kind of a normal work day for for the rest of us, we run day camps, and Anna will let us know about that. We're starting an after school program called Be Strong. Think of it as like a kids fitness movement program. Of course, we run swim lessons for those of you who are familiar, or for those of you who aren't familiar. We run those out of the Gallaudet campus, where we'll be running our summer camp Monday through Thursday, Saturday and Sunday mornings, and then Sunday evenings. We also have adult swim lessons, adult fitness programs, and then the last Saturday or the fourth Saturday of every month, we run parent night out date nights. So your kids get a pizza party and some movement and some fun on a Saturday night, and then you can go out, take a nap, get some chores done, really whatever you want to do. And then we're going to talk about the annual all access pass that we have for both kids and families. So without further ado, summer camp. Last year, we ran summer camp for our first time ever, and we learned a lot, and it got a lot of positive feedback, and then also implemented a lot of lessons learned into this year's summer camp. So we're going to be starting the week of June 22nd, and it'll run in week-long intervals or week-long camps, starting June 22nd, running every single week through the week of August 17th. So August 17th through August 22. The focus of our summer camp is going to be play, outdoor based. Every day we're going to have a swimming session, mixed ages 5 through 12 with leadership opportunities for 13, 14, and then, well, for 12 and 13 maybe, and then for 14 plus, 14 to 18, we have employment opportunities. So if you've got an older kid who's responsible and is looking for a summer job, let us know. We would love to talk to them. Pri Primary focus here is, play, being active, being outside, minimal time or no time on screens, but minimal time just kind of sitting around doing nothing. So who's our ideal young citizen? We're old citizens. Maybe it's a stretch. I don't know who's our ideal young citizen. We're looking for K through 5 kiddos. As I said before, leadership and employment opportunities if you're in middle school and high school, and someone who's looking to spend time and energy and likes doing things, likes riding bikes, likes being outdoors, likes playing sports, likes being part of a group, loves to learn and be challenged. We kind of go back up here, fun, challenge, and adventure. So if a kid's looking for that in the summer, we would love to participate in ushering them a fun summer experience. Mission and philosophy, each day we're going to fill their schedule with sports, physical games, challenges. Anna started a Friday triathlon that was pretty fun. Kids seemed to really like it last year. We'll do obstacle courses, foursquare, basketball, all sorts of activities. A lot of free play, a lot of we'll split up into age groups and go outside and have the kids self-organize into games. I grew up in the 90s, and so I kind of think of like nostalgically my summers, and we're trying to recreate that kind of 90s summer, I don't know, block party experience. You go door to door, is Johnny home? Get all the kids out, play street hockey until it's dark, and then go home exhausted.
Sean, I can do
And-
the schedule if you want.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So
Okay.
yeah, go for it.
So we have a very pretty full schedule. Day goes by really fast, especially if your kid has a lot of energy. It'll go by really fast for the staff for sure. We do offer an early drop off. That's as early as 8. Everyone else comes between 8:45 and 9. Some people like to push that a little bit more and drop off a little later, but we try and get everybody started together around 9:15. We're looking at about 30 kids as a max per day. So what we'll try and do is have a real nice ratio of about one staff member to 5 to 6 kids. So what we like to do is break out into kind of like teams every morning and do like some kind of team challenge, some kind of silly group game, just something to get everybody together all at once. So it's not like you're just kind of coming in and running off and doing something. We picked like team names last year. The kids really liked that. They all got to pick a team name, and it's a good way to wrangle everybody together when it's time to transition. You just yell out the team name, you get with your team, and you go. The rest of the morning is pretty much filled with just physical activity. We have some really great counselors last year. I hope a lot of them come back. They were able to organize dozens of just different games. The kids, depending on who comes, it could be foursquare, it could be kickball, it could be basketball lessons, it could be a pickup soccer game. We did an obstacle course, tug of war, things like that. Very kind of classic camp, like Sean was talking about. Very kind of classic outdoor camp activities. We do lunch, have a little bit of free time, and then right after lunch, in that free time, we transition to the pool. So we do spend the afternoon at the pool. We break it up when we're there. We'll talk about that, what that looks like in a minute or two. But we are kind of at the pool, not anywhere else. There's really no other choice but to be at that pool during that time. Transitions to and from the pool can take a while. So we like to build in a good 20 to 30 minutes on either side, getting 30 kids changed into bathing suits and making sure everybody has shoes and a towel and all of that. So we build in a lot of time for transition. After pool time is over, we do pickup, and there's extended stay for whoever wants to do that. Extended stay is basically just kind of a free time, real nice downtime. Kids usually bring their own stuff like books and card games, and we have a lot of art supplies to do during that time as well. Just that note at the bottom, we don't provide lunch, so everyone just brings a bag lunch. You're welcome to bring lots of snacks too. We usually kind of call out a snack time mid-morning and then snack after we get out of the pool. That's kind of self-directed. And yeah, just packing everything in a backpack, make sure everybody can carry it on their own back. Because we do have, depending on where we're at, and we'll talk about where on campus we're at, we do have a little bit of a walk between where we spend our morning and the pool that we go to. So everyone's got to carry their own stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Carry their own stuff. And then really important, especially for the younger campers. I saw some questions about rising kindergartners. The most important thing is that they can reliably change into and out of their swimsuits. We do all the safe locker room best practices and legal stuff to make sure that there's multiple adults and no adult and child are, alone in the bathroom together. And we basically just want your kids to be able to change independently, but we'll have same-sex counselors in the locker rooms to support changing if needed. So it's not like we're just going to leave your kid stuck to a wetsuit and trying to get out of it. So here we go. Anna mentioned the facilities. For those of you who do our swim lessons, this map, I mean, for all people, this map is mostly just to show the scale of the campus. But this is Florida Avenue. This is 800 Florida Avenue. This is where you come in. Most people drive this way. The pool that we normally swim at is over here. So for June and July camps, so all camps in June and July, we'll be doing those out of the MSSD facility. So sort of up on top of that hill, we'll have this facility called the Eagle Zone, which is so there's three schools on the campus. There's an elementary school, there's a middle school, sorry, yeah, there's an elementary school and like a middle high school, and then there's a university. And so this is the middle high school boarding school cafeteria that we were able to rent in the summer. And so it's a big open space, lots of chairs and tables, ping pong, foosball. So some indoor stuff for inclement weather, when it gets really hot, a place for kids to have lunch indoors, access to water fountains so that they can fill up their water bottles and everything they need. Right outside the door here is a big open field. It's actually pretty cool. You walk out, right around here, and you can see a pretty cool site of the Capitol. So it's a nice little field that we get to play on and get to use. And then across the street, so the Eagle Zone is right here, and then right across a very close proximity is the MSSD pool. So for our June and July camps, we'll be mostly just living up here. Drop off and pick up will be up here in this MSSD complex. When the camp transitions to August, then we will have drop off down here at the Kendall. It's the elementary school, the Kendall Pavilion, which is down here in the bottom corner of the campus. And then we'll be swimming and doing aftercare at the Gallaudet campus. And so this walk here is, you're basically walking a baseball field in a track. So it's like a 10-minute walk for a lot of the younger kids, but maybe half a mile or so is the distance. And this whole campus is fenced in. And we're crossing a road here, but it's a low traveled road, and we're kind of walking along the fields when we transport all the kids. So an example of the pavilion, this is a covered pavilion here. That's a pretty spacious and covered pavilion with a lot of picnic tables. And so when the weather's nice, this works out really well. We also have access to indoor space if the weather gets inclement. I think last year there was a storm once or twice, so we just went inside and did indoor activities during that time. So it's not like we're going to be huddled in the center of this during a thunderstorm. We'll be indoors. There's large playground areas, basketball courts and stuff out and around. And again, this whole area is fenced in. And so we've got boundaries for the kids, both, where we recommend them to go, but also boundaries, like literal physical boundaries for the kids. So that's our,
Can I add
yeah,
one thing, Sean? Yeah,
please.
I'll just add too that if you've been on Gallaudet's campus, you know that you kind of can't just walk in. It's not that open. So we do try and their security is awesome. They have security guards kind of circling the campus at all times. So it's never like anyone's really ever not being seen. They're keeping track of us there, like definitely.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, so camp leaders in training. So we've got again some opportunities here for the older kids who are interested in participating in the summer camp. If your age is 11 to 13, we still very much see you as somebody who wants to participate in the camp, but maybe wants to take on some leadership opportunities. We'll give you a 25% discount to what the camp is. Lead some games, lead some arts and crafts. It's kind of guided by the kids' interests, by what they want to do, by the opportunities that they want to what they want to have. But basically, we just talk to the kiddos who are these counselors in training, and we figure out what they want to do, and we help create opportunities for them. And I don't know if you have any examples or stories of our counselors in training from last summer.
I put that picture up there of Connor. He's a great example of someone that has started out. I had him when he was 5 years old in swim lessons, and he has just stuck with us the whole time. And he's now a counselor and getting paid. So he's kind
Yeah.
of like our ideal person, just kind of knows who we are, is in the family, and just loves to be a part of what we do. Um, some things that he did were, he would organize a soccer game with the kids. CITs are great line leaders. They help kind of shuttle the kids to the bathroom, help out the people that are lagging behind. And they're also really great for kind of the one-on-one time. If there's a kid that's a little bit shy or that needs a little bit of extra help or really wants to learn something cool. I see our teenagers really being kind of mentors and reaching out to those kids, and it's just great to see. It's great to have that
Yeah.
as available.
Yeah, definitely one of our lessons learned from last year is these 14 and 15-year-old junior assistant coaches. We had three of them, I think, last year, Courtly, Connor, and Abby, and they all did just phenomenal job. They had so much energy and were able to connect with kids in ways that perhaps a more senior counselor isn't. And it created a really fun and awesome dynamic. Connor, I I was there a few weeks, and kids were there for multiple weeks, and then it would be like the next week, and Connor wasn't working that week, and the kids would be like, "Oh, where's Connor? No," So it's kind of like their big brother there as a part of camp, which I think is pretty fun. And kids' games have evolved since we were kids, and so Connor knew all the hip, fun games that the kids are playing. So if you've got a 14 or 15-year-old who's looking for the four, we are legally allowed to employ you if you're 14 and above. Obviously, parent permission and some other things that we follow HR wise. But if you've got a 14, 15-year-old who's looking for an employment opportunity, we'd love to help. Obviously, 16, 17 as well. Um, our afternoon pool schedule, Anna, you kind of want to run through. So we talked about the whole day's schedule, but this is specifically what the pool sessions will look like.
Sure. So the pool sessions are everyone gets to the pool, and what we do is we hire a separate staff of basically people who teach swimming in our swim school program. They come in and kind of handle the pool afternoon. And so what we wind up doing is changing, go over the rules with everybody. If it's the first day of camp, we usually do kind of like a little bit of an assessment of where your child is in the pool. If we don't kind of know already from them being in lessons, we'll ask you some questions beforehand, and then we'll do kind of an in-person assessment on that first day of the week. Then we break out. That's how we kind of break people out into groups. It'll be about 5 people in each group, maybe more. If there's a lot of kids that week that are super advanced, it might be like a group of 8 or 9 kids, working in a lane. If it's a group of 4 or 5-year-olds that maybe don't have a lot of skills yet, it's going to be a little bit lower ratio, more like 1 to 4 in the pool. And we do an actual swim lesson. It's not going to be exactly like what you get in our regular swim program because the groups might be a little bit bigger. We're not going to do, we're not going to adhere to our very strict kind of skills that we teach there, but it is going to be a structured lesson so that if your child's either working on stuff with us in swim school or is maybe just kind of new to swimming, they're going to get that structured lesson time to learn things like blowing nose bubbles, floating on their back, doing really good high quality kicking. If you're in a higher level group, you're going to learn really good backstroke, breaststroke kick, things like that. We do get out after 30 minutes just to do what we call a safety break. It's just a chance for everyone to get out, stretch, go to the bathroom if needed. And then we move into our, we call it like the free swim portion of the day. Again, we'll be divided into groups based on what kind of swim skills you have. If your child is pool safe, and we'll get to that, what that means in a minute, they're going to have a lot more liberty to kind of enjoy the pool like they would on any kind of normal pool day where we have a lifeguard on deck. They're kind of in the water on their own, being supervised by a lifeguard and some other coaches. If they're not quite pool safe, can't be in the pool on their own, we're going to break them out into like another 1 or 2 zones where there's going to be coaches actually in the water with them the whole time. There's going to be more pool equipment. We don't really believe in doing anything like life jackets, but we do have lots of noodles, floaties available for people to work with and to learn how to use during that time. We do another break. That's usually a little bit longer. That's because people usually get tired after 40 minutes of continuous swimming. Even if you're just kind of holding on to like a noodle or a kickboard, it's very tiring. So we like to make everybody get out and just kind of do a reset. And then we get back in for a little bit more swim time. So it's a long time to be in the pool, but honestly, I'd say the majority 80-85% of the swim times last year during camp, we had to like force people to get out of the pool.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's always a kid or two who, maybe after the 30-minute lesson doesn't want to get back in and have fun. And so like we talked about our oh, what did I do here? We talked about our values up here as fun, challenge, and adventure. And so the camp here really focuses on fun. We want the kids to have a fun experience. But that said, we're always working with the parents and talking with the parents. If you're like, make sure they get in and enjoy the water, we'll not let them sit out so easily. So yeah, it's a great experience. So Anna talked about our pool safe standards. If you're in our swim lesson program, we know exactly what level you're in. We know whether or not you're considered pool safe for camp. And so pool safe for camp would be if you're participating in our level, if you're in our stroke school, you're 100% pool safe. If you're in level 6 in our swim program, you're almost certainly pool safe. And some level 5 swimmers might make our pool safe standards. But we want you to be able to swim 25. We want the kid to be able to swim 25 yards. So this is important. I think Anna mentioned this. The swim portion of camp will be staffed by our swim instructors. So these are going to be our qualified swim instructors. These are the people who teach your kids swimming year round. And one of our supervisors is going to be here to determine pool safe for your kiddos. 25 yards, one length of the pool. We need to see struggle-free swimming. We need to see them be able to swim, easily capture a breath, easily continue moving through the water. If at any point it appears that they're struggling or getting tired, we're probably not going to pass them as pool safe. We want them to be able to tread water with 2 minutes. They can use their hands, and then they'll need to jump in the deep water, roll over onto the back, and float for 30 seconds. And really, what we're looking for here is just, is this kid going to be safe in a deep water environment with a lifeguard with a normal pool circumstances. You don't have to be pool safe to participate in the camp. I think this is a really important point. We are more than excited to work with your kids if they're not pool safe. We're going to obviously give them a lesson and then create some free play opportunities. And we're going to roughly split them up into levels 1 through 4 based on their ability. These loosely follow our swim lesson levels. So level 1 is pretty much can't swim, timid to get in the water. Level 2 is that kid who's, enthusiastically jumping in the water, but like you got to be close to catch them because their ability to return to the surface is limited. Level 3 is imagine a kid who can jump in the water, get to the surface, and kick to an adult or somebody who's nearby, but by no means is pool safe. And then level 4 is a kiddo who's, if they're in 3 feet of water, they can sort of bounce on the bottom, they can capture a breath, but like 4 or 5 feet, they'll start to struggle. They're relatively safe in shallow water. They can move around the water relatively independently, but they still, need to be closely supervised by an adult in the water. Those are our levels. And like Anna said, these groups of kids are going to be pretty small. Down here is probably 1-to-2 ratio with maybe 1-to-3 depending on the age of the kids. Here is going to be 1-to-3, 1-to-4, maybe 1-to-5 at this level. And then at our pool safe level, that'll look a lot like our stroke school where there'll be one coach responsible for the group of pool safe swimmers, maybe two if it's a really older kid heavy summer camp week. Pool safe groups during free swim. So this is, again, these are older kids who are deep end safe, who can, so what are we going to do? Games, Marco Polo. One of our coaches is a water polo player, so she was teaching the kids how to play water polo, relay races, diving boards, really just kind of like think summer fun at the pool. For our non-pool safe groups, of course, instructors are in the water with tightly controlled ratio. There's a lifeguard sitting here, very closely watching. We've got noodles, floaties, mats, all sorts of fun stuff that the kids can do. Again, if you're a swim lesson parent, you'll see us do games and activities with your kids during the swim lesson. So you can think of this time as like all of the game without much of the lesson. Registration opens tomorrow. Woo! Pretty excited. Tomorrow, the link will be live. We'll post this. We'll send out an announcement. You can sign up. The cost is $755 for the week. There'll be an early bird discount for anybody who signs up before the end of February. It's a 15% discount. And after February, if you're an Old City swim lesson member, if you're a member of our gym, if you're a participant in anything that we do in the Old City ecosystem, then you can get an 8% discount starting in March. There's wraparound care options. You can get early drop off, extended stay. So early drop off 8 to 9, extended stay 3 to 6. You can pay per day. You can pay for all mornings, you can pay for all evenings, or you can pay for the wraparound care for the whole week. And don't quote me on the prices. It's in the checkout, but I think it's $10 a morning, $30 an afternoon, and I think it's 180 for the whole wraparound care for the whole week. But when you go to checkout, you can click all of your early bird, or sorry, all of your extended stay preferences. So that's the cost and registration. We'll send out a link here shortly. Cool. So any open on July 3rd? That's a great question. I'm 99% sure we are. Let me pull up a calendar.
Wow.
July.
Oh, I see. Last year we were only off on the 4th, but I do see that's a Friday. I'm gonna say we're open. I'm
Pretty sure. We'll
yeah,
confirm that. We'll
yeah.
confirm that. Michelle's not here tonight. She's been doing the scheduling, but yeah, we'll let you we'll put that in the announcement. We'll make a note of that and confirm whether or not we're open on the 3rd. That's a good question. Hold on one second. My son wants to say hello. Say hello.
Hi,
Hey,
Ford.
hey, we're doing a summer camp presentation. Hey, what's up, buddy?
I want you to play with me.
Okay, I'll play. Can I finish this and then we'll play? All right. All right, let's go, buddy. Ha. Yeah, he's a year too young to be in summer camp. Next summer he'll be there for sure. So, all right. So we've got. Hey, come here. Hey, all right. We'll be there soon.
Come down soon.
All right, come on. All right, Anna, do you want to talk about the no school day camps
Sure.
and how
Yeah, we
those work?
started these last fall, I believe. So what we're doing is we basically look at the DCPS calendar and we see what days are off. I know I work at a local public charter school, and I don't follow the DCPS calendar, but I looked at it, and we know that you guys have a lot of weird days off for professional days and things like that. So what we were trying to do with these day camps is to really offer an opportunity for people who, need to work that day, but your kids are off of school, and offer something to do for that day. This is the calendar of all of those. The next one is actually next Monday. There's a Monday after that, which I don't even know what kind of day it is, but they're off. Next one's coming up around February, March, and then in April is the kind of spring break, that week from the 13th to the 17th. Oh, I see there's a typo there. But we'll offer something every day for that whole week if you're planning on being in town. There are some of those also odd days at the end of the school year where it's not quite the last day of school, but the kids have off. We're planning on offering those days too. We have been averaging about 6 to 10 kids for these day camps. We're probably can go up to 15, maybe 20, depending on what day and what the weather's looking like. But it's a really fun day. We usually start out at our gym in the morning. And then if the weather is warm enough, we've been going down to the fields at RFK. There's an awesome playground there. picnic tables, the pavilion. We pretty much spend a couple hours down there. We take a streetcar, which everybody loves to do. I think in the colder weather, we might do some little trips to like the bookstore on H Street, maybe go get some ice cream at the ice cream shop, things like that, things that are a little bit more indoor if it's too cold to go outside. We've also gone to Sherwood Playground, which is only 2 blocks from the gym. So that's pretty much how that day goes. I think on the next slide, we do just have like a little mini schedule.
Yeah, and are the ages for day camps similar to summer camp?
Yeah, we have done a little bit younger. We've done, I believe, pre-K 4, I think this year. Yeah, we've done
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say definitely definitely five, like same age as a summer camp, 5 through 12,
Yeah.
100%. And then if there's a younger kid, we are open to seeing if it's a fit for them.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it would depend on sort of which day camp it is and what we're planning on doing activity wise. But yeah, open to it. We had a I think a 4-year old on one of the day camps last year that worked out pretty well. So yeah, absolutely, Amanda. And yeah, we'll be posting this recording and we'll be sending out the link and details and everything. So if you have any questions, I put the information up here at the top. So if you need to sign off, you can go to our website and you can click around and send us an email, or just email us directly through camps at Old City Swim School. So yep. So schedule, like Anna was talking about, we've got a Be Strong after school program that we're going to start here in February. It's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays at our CrossFit gym. So it'll be at 1007 H Street Northeast. And the time here will be 3:30 to 5. Actually, this is going to be 5:30 p.m. It depends on the school that your kids are participating, or that depends on the school that your kids attend. But we're really trying to figure out how to pick your kids up at school, bring them to the gym supervised, and then put them through our Be Strong after school program. We definitely have the ability to do that from school within a school. It's like a block away from Ludlow Taylor. There's a Montessori school on 4th and E that we're working with a parent there to see if we can figure out a group and a logistics process for that program. But the idea here would be pick kids up at 3, get them to the gym, and if they're not one of these schools that we can do supervised transport to, then the parent drop them off at the gym at 3:30. We do a class 3:30 to 4:30, and then 4:30 to 5:30 would be snacks, reading, studying, downtime. Nice days, we'll take them out to the park at um, Sherwood, likely, and then pick up 5:30 to 5:45. So this can be a really cool opportunity if, as a parent, you're looking to get a workout in while your kids are being watched in an after-school program. We run a 4:30 to 5:30 CrossFit class, and so the idea here is, either it extends your workday or creates some sort of productive after-school program for your children. And maybe if you're able to get away from work by 4:30, come to the gym and grab yourself a workout. Cost of the program is $225 a month, and yeah, that's that is the Be Strong program. So our kids' night out, parents' night out, we do this the fourth Saturday of every month. We start off with a lot of activities and fun. We'll do ninja obstacle courses. We'll do some exercises and some games from our Be Strong program. Then we end the night with a pizza party and a movie. And so it is our one exception for our no screens policy. We do believe in the fun aspect of summer nights, and there's nothing more fun than projecting a movie on a wall and eating pizza and hanging out with your friends and siblings. So that's 5:30 to 9 p.m. for Saturday of every month. Our swim lesson program, many of you are familiar, but we run a Learn to Swim program, which takes you from 3 years old. We start at 3 years old, not being comfortable in the water at all the way to our pool safe program for our Learn to Swim, which is you're able to swim every single one of the strokes. You're able to swim 8 lengths to the pool. You're able to tread water with no hands for a minute, 5 minutes with hands in the water. You're able to, you're a pretty dang good swimmer by the time you finish our pool safe program. We also have a stroke school. Think of the stroke school as the gap between Learn to Swim and Swim Team. So we continue to refine your strokes. We give you lots of opportunities to swim in the pool. This is our schedule. And if you're not involved in our Learn to Swim program and you want to be, email admin at Old City Swim School to do that. Our adult fitness program, we have a CrossFit gym at 1007 H Street. We do customized group classes, individualized programming, personal training. Really, our goal is to help you with whatever your fitness goals are. And last but not least, we have an annual all access pass that we would like to offer. So think of it like this. If you're participating in our swim lessons and you're interested in at least 1 or 2 weeks of summer camp and some of the other programs that we talked about were interesting to you, you're probably gonna save quite a bit of money if you entertain an all access pass with what we have. You can go to our annual pass page and we break down everything that's included in our kids all access pass and our family all access pass. But if you're looking at this and you just want to meet with us and talk to us, fill out this form on the website, and we would love to talk to you about what your family's needs are, what your kids' needs are, and see if we can put something together that makes sense for you and your family. It's our first year offering this. And so these bundles that we put together are just kind of our guess as to what it is that you might want, but we really want to give you something that is beneficial for your family. So if you'd like to talk to us and see if we can figure out some sort of tailored bundle that makes sense for you, just let us know. Happy to have a conversation and see what makes sense. That is the presentation. So if you have, I've heard Anna typing furiously, so hopefully she's been answering questions. Yeah, if there's any other questions about our summer camp, about any of our other kids programmings or the annual pass, I'd be more than happy to answer them. All right. We'll post this recording on the website. We will send a link to summer camp registration. And again, if you're interested in learning more about our annual pass, just go to our website, oldcitykidsdc.com, and then click annual pass, and then fill out this form here, and we'd be more than happy to schedule a call with you. So thank you very much for your valuable time on a Wednesday night, and we'll be doing this for the next 2 weeks. And so, yeah, Eric, thanks so much for attending. We'll be doing this for the next 2 weeks. So if you have any questions that come up, you can email us or you can attend next week and ask. And yeah, have a wonderful night. And we hope to see you this summer, if not before. Take care.